Hello, everyone. This is CP Joyce. Thank you for your interest in this newly launched web portal for astrology. After I launched it, there was a ton of interest in understanding how the life profile worked. So I've just cast a chart for now, just today's date and time, just to walk you through how to interpret the life profile. I did put out a blog post back on Saturday on how to use this, but I've actually wanted to do a live video so it's easier to follow. So here's a chart for the 25th of March, that's today, 9 p.m. Chicago. And it just casts the chart. As you can see, the planet positions are all here. There are planets that are in exaltation and there's some in debilitation. There's a retrograde planet here. Um, as you can tell, you can get all the details by hovering on the planet itself. And of course, since the transit and the current chart are the same, you can see they're exactly in the same position. But Venus is exalted, it's also retrograde, and Mercury is debilitated in Pisces because it's exalted in Virgo, right? So it's reflecting the chart. Let's click on the life profile chart for a second. As stated before, it starts with today's date. The details are all populated, and because it's charted for today, it's the same date, of course, and the time. It gives you all the relevant details. If you do wish to change all this and have a new life profile generated, you can reset this and put in your own time and date for now, but it won't match the birth chart on the previous page. That's when the back to life birth chart button will get disabled. But for now, let's look at this. These two charts here are the exact same. They're just different representations, just different formats. But as you can tell, they're all in houses. We put the hover on this so you can tell what each house actually speaks about, right? You can tell what the first house is all about, what the second, the third, fourth. As you hover there, it'll tell you what the house meaning is. So if you go up here, it tells you house 11 is for income, networking, aspirations, fulfillment, and achievements, right? So you get that. One look at this chart, it's easy to tell this period of time for 60 days, beginning today, for this person, is all about uh, communications, the third house, siblings, uh, writing. It fades off a little bit lesser after the 25th of April. As you can see, it's no more as big here, but the green is really big here. They will be home for the most part. Mother will be in focus, fourth house, right? All that is big here. It actually even grows after this period. The fifth house of creativity, very strong, the yellow. The yellow color is really strong. It's very, very strong in this period of time. So naturally, somebody who's trying to write a book, communicating with the third house of communication skills, combined with the creativity that the fifth house brings, this 60-day period, at least till the 25th of April, when the green is really strong, is a good time to exercise your communication skills. Along with that, the sixth house of money coming in, uh, winning in competitions, exams, work, service to others is also relatively strong. But even stronger is the eighth house of introspection, sudden changes, transformation, very, very strong until sometime in the 25th of April, after which you can see the red color there starts to grow smaller and smaller and smaller. The purple color, I should say, that starts to get weaker and weaker. That's not important then. Same time, the 326 to 425 period, there is hardly any presence of the ninth house or the 10th house, the career house, and the 12th house of being one with ourselves. It's not even present. Both 9, 10 are small, 11, 12 are completely absent. Here, even 10 becomes absent after this period of time here. Then, after the 15th, you see the ninth house of travel is present, and the 12th house slowly appears as the topmost orange portion, but not a whole lot. Then, coming forward, you start to see the 11th house takes over, but then the whole notion of being alone by yourself, in deep meditation, expenses will go down. There's nothing there. So then the career house of the 10th house starts to show up again around on the 30th or the 2nd of May. So you can see how life changes for this person over time, basically. And by looking at this, if you want to plan the next 2 months, it's clearly the time is to spend time on creative pursuits and writing skills, yeah, siblings, children are represented by the same fifth house, so they may be a big part of your life and those for this person in that period of time. Go down here, it's the same chart basically. One look at it, it's a period of green, which is all about communication, writing a book, communication, promoting media-based interests, siblings, short commutes and short travel. But along with that, yellow is a big chunk here. There's a big chunk indicating creative intelligence is really, really peaking basically. Now, fifth house also is speculation, right? But as you can tell, there is no 11th house of gains, at least not until the 25th. So only when 5th and 11th come together, then you know that there are gains to be made along with the 5th house, which is speculative gains may be possible. But until the 11th, until the 23rd, the blue doesn't even show up, which is the 11th house basically. You see here, the blue is the 11th house. Yeah, until then, no speculation. This is all about creative interest because it's very, very strong with the third house as well. Third house fades away, 11th house comes up, fifth house is still active, investment gains could be made. So you read them in conjunction with something else basically. It's never to be read individually, but when you see it, just one look at the chart, you just no need to do a whole lot. Oh, yellow is big, creative space, green is large, allows me to communicate. I could write a book. Fourth house blue is indicative of you being home. The home will take predominance, so on and so forth. Now, this is one person's chart. Let's assume we go back and we reset this time and date and we use some other date. Let's take uh, 0815 2023 and then plug in a time of 080000 a.m. and we take the place as, let's say, Bangalore. If you do this, it takes the rest of the details, we submit it. Now this person's chart basically is very different. You see here, the yellow is not as big, same period of time. Self is very dominant. Here, the self, the second, third, and fourth house are all absent. Only it begins with the fifth house here. You see, the first three houses don't play a role in this person's life at all if the person was born on that day. The first 1 month here, almost, or 2 weeks, total absence of the self, family time, siblings, and home are not part of their life at all. They are in some creative space, they're working at it. The eighth house of introspection is strong, and the blue house of gains is strong. 12th house of being alone is strong. You see how when the yellow or tan colored being alone house is strong, there's no family time here either. I mean, you can't have both, right? Likewise, when family time comes up, the yellow time actually fades away. Up here, being alone time goes away. So you can see that in life in general, these patterns will play out in a way that you don't even need to think about it. But this is time to keep away from everything, focus on some creative work and transformative work, gain it, be one with yourself, and then get something done. Then afterwards, it changes. Then here, the creation happens. Here, it's all about children also too, right, up front. But here, creative spirit is up, communications are high, and yellow is reasonably high. Not as big, but reasonably high. But again, you're alone. Again, you see a lot of time spent on career and status in the 10th house here. And then, of course, you're very, very working. This person will work a lot of hours until they become small around the 16th of May. It's really small. So you see this chart pattern here is very different from the previous person. So essentially, this is a day by day change. We just don't realize how life changes every day, but life does change every day. The energies outside are promoting a certain pattern of support. And to use that for our own good, to plan this 2 months, up front you can be creative. At the end you can be writing something. Although creation is done, the writing can happen then, but creating something can happen only in the beginning. Investing oneself into these activities, very strongly indicated, and then to the exclusion of everything else, essentially. You see, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 houses are represented here out of the 6. The remaining 6 houses don't even appear. So, to align with this energy state is the purpose of the life planning tool, essentially. We did add the hover in, so it makes it easier. And it's easier to go back to the birth chart also now. So, hopefully, you find it interesting. If you have any questions, ping me via email or via text message. Happy to walk you through it again. But Don't analyze it too much. Just step back, look at the colors, look at what the colors mean, and say, oh, that's where I'm supposed to be spending my time. As a big chunk of my day should be spent on my day. Because this whole thing here is one day. 100% of our day, right? Is one day each here. Just like above, every line is one day. So that's how to use the life profile feature. Hope you find this interesting. Give us feedback. We'll take it as it comes and make improvements as needed. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time and cooperation.